The Tuesday Crossword, January 13th, 2026. And this one is by Nate Hall. I believe this might be Nate Hall's first puzzle. Yes, it's Nate Hall's debut. So congrats, Nate, for getting a puzzle in the New York Times. I'm excited to see how this one plays out. This does seem to be like a. I wonder how this grid is shaped. It looks like it's a bit longer than it is. I think this is 15 by 14. Yes, 15 by 14, that's totally okay. I see lots of puzzles that are this size, typically because the theme has an even number of letters in the middle, so you have some small change in size to accommodate it. Let's see if we fall behind is to lag. Settings for some botch games: Lawns, Extraterrestrial Alien, and Genoa. Birthplace of Pink Panther is Wakanda. Angle symbol in geometry. Wait. Black this should be theta. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. Hoot, Ella, like most NBA players, are 20, in their 20s, and Asana for a yoga coach. A yogi once. Some cartoon, maybe? Yogi Berra, kind of. Maybe that's what it's referencing. Indonesian getaway spot. Boardroom VIP. That should be an exec, so this might not be right then. Congressional staffer is an aide, like a Senate aide. Bartender supply is ice. Beginning of a story is a lead. And you're always told you might bury the lead as a sort of a bad thing to do, where you sort of not give the full details right away in the first paragraph, for instance. Yogi once is a bear, bear something. Hospital is neonatal nurse. There's a 3 N's in here. Iconic queen hit. Let's just look at this. Dear Evan Hansen, that's what I know. Oh, wave, ride a wave. Coffee informally. I think Java, that's what it would be. Light run is a jog. Egg shaped is oval. Caution, wet floor. Antlered animal is a doe. Or a ram. Cohort known as Zoomers, Gen Z. Tim Walls for this. We will rock you. Let's see what that gives us. It's in reaction to hilarious text as lulls, climbs without a, or is this this LMAO, and that becomes solos, like free solos, like Alex Honnold, the free soloer. Commute option is rail. I'm in trouble is oh no. Caution wet paint. That's one of the other things that might be wet. Many a groan-inducing joke is a pun. And ambitious and high energy is type A. So this is not, that's elk. It's another antlered animal. The little engine that could. It's one of those classic little children's books. And there was like a little engine that could, after another train broke down. There's a train engine that could. Many men on dating shows are hunks. Sure. Concern for a singer or a salesman is a pitch. Pet sitters are lap cats. They sit on your lap. Yeah. Hand dyed fabric. I don't know that one. Suggest is to get at something. You see that always clues. To suggest, I always think it comes in like these blank at clues are always kind of similar. Kiss or heart, and is this batik? I think I've heard of that before. Kiss or heart. And this is carne asada. It's some kind of meat, like a certain preparation of meat, like a steak, seasoning style or something. One of more than 30 dogs, Corgi, owned by Queen Elizabeth, is a Corgi. Spills over is slops over, so MGs for classic British cars. Noir, gritty film genre. Actress Pompeo, I don't know that one. Big name in carving knives, I think is Exacto. Bar attraction with a saddle and horns. I thought this would be mechanical bull. So it doesn't let me cut knives. Is this Cutco? I know this for being, well, I mean, supposedly it's a pyramid scheme, sort of thing. I see it at the local fair sometimes. Specialized subject is a niche, like a niche area. Creature, it's a snail, moves very slowly. Birth name of a birth name. Oh, sorry, I was thinking of birth country, but it's birth name. Birth name. I don't know that one. Some fountain drinks are colas. Oh, I actually heard of this. It's Chala. Heyo is Hala. Like NBA players are tall. Yes. Bear Cub was Yogi was once a bear cub because of Yogi Berra. Um, Pendulum's path is an arc, and these are the Ural mountain ranges. You see that along with Aral. So it's the Aral Sea, Ural Mountains. I think there's also an Ural River, but those are located. The Ural River, Ural Mountains are located somewhere in Siberia or Russia, that kind of area. And I think the Aral Sea is a little bit north of like the Black Sea, and it's basically all dried up. That's those are kind of the common ways that you would see it clued. Attack is to run at. DaCosta, Nia DaCosta, Noah DaCosta. A line. This is the skirt style. So this, Nia, yeah, Nia DaCosta. Young fellows is lads. Kiss or Heart is a band. Yes, yes, indeed they are. Segments of Earth's lithosphere is tectonic plates. Okay. Then what else is there? Like Incan, Peruvian pyramids. Off drill is an oil rig. Mounted light fixture is a chalice or buffoons is clods. A sconce. I know of a sconce as in England. There's this sort of kind of posh boy tradition of sconcing during dinners, where it's like you just kind of say, "I sconce someone who blah blah blah," like does a certain thing, and then they have to stand up and take a drink, and typically it's kind of fratty behavior, like the kind of things that they ask if you've done are in a way sort of fratty, that kind of genre of things, but. In any case, I did not know that sconce also means a wall-mounted light fixture. Okay, let's see what else there is. I think this might be Ellen. Could be, I don't know what else it could be. This is Clue. It's a mystery film, and this is the MCAT. Nice. Okay. I didn't really get to go over much of the theme as I wanted to, but I do understand this theme, and it works quite well. So this is talking about things that can be rocked or, well, in sort of different senses of the word. You get neonatal nurses that sort of rock babies, right after they're born, and you also have mechanical bulls, which are things that rock very extremely in bars. It's one of those things that a lot of people fall off from, and tectonic plates. I'm not sure if I would really classify it as rocking, but certainly tectonic plates are rocky themselves, and they also do shift a lot, and they cause some like earthquakes and stuff. So it's fair to say that maybe they do rock some things, and of course, We Will Rock You suggests that like these are people or things that would rock you. I guess in a way, an earthquake is something that's rocking back and forth. So yes, all three of these are perfectly good themers. So let's take a look at if there were some interesting words around here. I'll say Tim Walls is certainly an uncommon. I think this might be the first time this has shown up, just because this is very recent development. I'm in a way I'm actually quite surprised that this showed up so recently. Usually the timeline for puzzles being accepted and then run is around a year or maybe like 9 months ish. So this would mean that you would submit a puzzle, you wait 3 months for an answer, and then you might wait like another, say, year for this. So this means that probably Nate Hall, when constructing this, just happened to have Tim Walls as an entry, and he must have sent in this puzzle around a year ago, in order for it to be running right now. It's very timely. It's a very, well, I suppose for New York Times, it's about as timely as you get. He sort of included this right as the election was happening. So it's a cool word. I think we might see more of this in the future, because certainly Tim Walls is still relevant in news today. Let's see what else. Cutco. I was a bit surprised to see this. Again, I can't really say too much about the legitimacy of companies, really. Like, I mean, I don't think anyone's really going to care what I say in this video. I mean, they have bigger fish to fry, but um, yeah, I'll say yeah, Cutco is certainly a notable brand. And in any case, regardless of if they are actually like a good business or not, I'm sure that this is a fair enough word to use as an answer for crosswords. Um, I must have miscounted earlier. This actually is a bit taller than it is wide. So this is 16 by 14, which is actually sort of the ideal layout because that means that you would have almost the same amount of letters as a 15 by 15. You're only off by one square if you resize it like this. So it is a good choice in this case also because it can be quite difficult to lay out all the words in a way that's easy to fill if you have one fewer row. So you might have like you take out one of these middle rows in here, and then you have these two that are right next to each other, well separated by one row. But usually that's not enough to have a very clean fill. So in any case, I think Nate Hall made a good choice with the grid size for this for sure. Sconce was interesting. I didn't do a down only solve this time, but if I did a down only solve, I probably would have been tripped up by this as well. Um, well, this is a familiar looking word, but I would say that it's not one that I necessarily would have come up with if I didn't just get the other letters first. Anything else that is interesting here? I do appreciate this is purely from an aesthetic viewpoint, but I think it's very cool that there are um, there there's a word that starts with tch. You don't really see that very much, and certainly it is also a very interesting word in itself with the meaning and all. Birth name of the Black Panther. Yeah, I hope to see more puzzles from Nate Hall in the future. This was quite a fun one. It was very solid. I had no complaints about this otherwise. Um, yeah, solid puzzle. I really like it. All right, that's it.